Street was about as critical as he'll be about the calling the illegal contact. And then the touchdown did take one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. But the most reassuring thing for the Jets in this game, Quinnen Williams started looking like Quinnen Williams. Now, maybe that's more about the Texans' interior offensive line. But Aaron and Devontae clicked again for the first time since he's been on the team. But
Reddick was also a factor.
Oh, yeah, Reddick was a factor as well. That's a good point. But the thing is this. They're still a bad team. And I'm really glad you're not getting sucked back in the way I thought
I'm going to hold out hope, but yeah. I mean,
other people have been. Like, since Aaron Rodgers said, our next step is to go dominate, here have been the worst teams in football. The teams who have lost 5 games since Panthers, Saints,
Patriots
Jets.
Not on it. That's our first negative
Patriots
graphic.
not on it. Because they beat the Jets. Also, we talk all the time at the beginning of the year. Oh, teams that start 0-2, their record making the playoffs. Teams that start 0-3. Teams that have a 5-game losing streak at any point in the year, 2% make the playoffs. Like, it is not the teams that have the ability to lose 5 games in a row don't have the ability to then all of a sudden win 7 of 8, which is the type of thing the Jets are going to need to do. So if we can show their schedule real quick, because the point that I was trying to make was we look at the Cardinals as, the Cardinals are not that good. The Cardinals are 4-4. The Colts, they're not that good. They're 4-4. The Seahawks, they're not that good. They're 4-4. The Dolphins, they are 2-5 right now, but in a weird spot because Tua was out, and we'll see. The Jags are a legit bad team, and then the Rams 3-4, and the Bills a winning record. Like, I don't think the Jets or Jet fans or Jet media have any right to look at any game and be like, we should beat them. You lost to New England 5 days ago.
So twice, I guess. Al Michaels, during the game, he was talking to Herb Street, that he sort of relayed what Aaron was telling him, and Aaron was selling him on, Seattle and the Rams have to come across. That's what he kind of hinted at. And he said, Aaron, he can sell you a few things. I was going to buy the Brooklyn Bridge after that conversation, but I settled for the Williamsburg. But after the game, he said, you know what? Wait a second, they can't run the table, and he makes you think they can. And I'm the mayor of Fair. I am no fan of the Jets, but I am the mayor of Fair. I haven't been the mayor of Fair in a while.
You're also the mayor of the last thing I saw is the only thing I saw.
Recency bias? The mayor of recency bias? Yeah. Perhaps. To Brew's point, and Brew, tell me if you're buying this at all. It might be just a strong no, and we can move on. Some of the things that you outlined, literally dropping a touchdown before you walk in, roughing the punter, roughing the center, the pass to Davante Adams, I didn't pull it. The pass to Davante, where Davante's over here and the ball's back there, are so egregiously bad, they almost seem fixable. Versus when you see when you see other teams, like, you can't pinpoint where the Patriots right now, like, the players just aren't that good. There aren't egregious mistakes. But there's some of these mistakes are so huge, like, I just don't do that, and we score.
No, look, if Corley doesn't drop that ball, maybe this is a big win. If he doesn't drop that ball, they win by a sizable amount. Where Nick and I disagree, and I'm shocked that you feel this way, Nick, they got talent.
It's not
like to say that they don't have talent.
I don't think they have more. I don't think they have top 10 in the NFL talent.
But they have more talent probably than most of the teams left on their schedule. I'll say that. Like at what position? It depends on what position group are they not? You know what I mean? Are they not good at? Like, talent-wise.
The offensive line, they're not good at. The quarterback room,
got some guys
they're
that
not
have done
good
some
at.
things. The quarterbacking?
Yeah, the quarterback
room,
they're not
great anymore. Last night he played well. Can he just be pretty good? Can he be pretty good?
I mean, he was awful.
I mean, he's got 15 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. By Aaron Rodgers' standards, those are bad. But that's actually pretty good.
But you don't think he's played pretty good?
No, I don't. No. But I think, and I said last week he's washed, and I don't mean he can't have quarters or halves like he did last night. But if he can, I don't expect him to be MVP for him ever. But if he can play well, solid, like he did last night.
I don't think he's good anymore. I think that we are 4 days removed from them losing to the Patriots. We are 11 days removed from them getting blown out by the Steelers. And while I agree the Corley thing is a one-off, those other things we're talking about when they are happening in I guess the last day of October, we're now in November, are the signs of an undisciplined, poorly coached team. To me, those aren't the throwaways. Those are we hearken back to it, but I do think it's instructive. One of the trademarks of the best coached, most put together team of the era, the Patriots dynasty when it was really rolling, was you go multiple seasons without that type of special teams penalty. Like, the best versions of teams never do it. The worst versions of teams always do it. And in a game where your season's on the line, to have 3 egregious mistakes, essential turnovers, like roughing the punter is a turnover. The roughing the snapper gives you a chance, the other team a chance to get 7 points.
For him.
It did work out oddly. It saved them 3 points, but I think that's who they are.
Highlight of the game, season, maybe NFL history. Probably
that's too far.
Start of the fourth quarter, 3rd and 19. Jets down 3. Rodgers to Garrett Wilson, who gets his shin down for the touchdown. Odes of OBJ. Here's his coach, teammate, and the man himself, Garrett Wilson. Take a listen.
I was talking to the ref when they were reviewing it. I'm like, just for the sake of posterity, you have to say that's in, just so it goes down in history. It would rival the Odell catch. It was amazing.
That's a bad man. That's catch of the year. It ain't even a catch that can come. That's better than the Odell catch for real.
For it to even come up in that convo, I'm blessed. I'm honored. But man, Odell got that's that boy.
Okay, Brew, your reaction to catch of the year.
Well, this is why I've been saying he's a bad boy. Garrett Wilson is a bad boy. Like, Nick, 2 1,000-yard seasons with Zach Wilson. And now with Aaron Rodgers, as you said, playing poorly, washed, I called him. He's second in the league in yards, total yards. Now I get it, he's got 1 extra game, but he's top 10 in yards per game. Yards per game. So he's he produces. Whoever the quarterback is, he produces. And this is one of, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me, one of the best catches in the history of the NFL. Like, that was incredible. Now, everybody's comparing it to OBJ. I think you can argue, I think OBJ's catch was definitely more impressive from the shoulders up, because he had to reach back further at things going out of bounds, right? He's like, that's ridiculous. I think maybe from the waist down, you might give it to Garrett Wilson because he had to maneuver the feet and the legs to get in bounds. OBJ really didn't, because I think Garrett got up higher in the air, so he had to come down to get his stuff in. But I'm gonna, honestly, if you ask me if I have to pick one, I'm gonna give it to OBJ.
Me too.
But this was right there, close.
Two quick points, because I'm painted as the anti-Garrett Wilson guy. I'm not that. I'm just Mr. Consistency. Of course. And I think we are at the high watermark of NFL history of A- or better receivers. And so I know Brew calls it the gloves. I think
that's part of it.
I think that's a small part of it, but that's fine. My entire Garrett Wilson argument is boiled down to a very simple kind of set of names. Tyreek, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, in my opinion, are the 5 best receivers in football. And then there's 10 guys in that next group that Garrett is in. And so that means 5 of those guys are not top 10 players. So, like, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, Nico Collins, Devontae, if he's really Devontae, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Guys are all, we had Brandon Ayuk in there before he tore his ACL. Like, they're all in that bucket. Fair. And so it wasn't that I don't think he's good. It's that I think about almost half the teams in the league have someone like him because there's so many really good, legit #1 receivers. That's the point I was making.
The question, and again, all of a sudden I'm becoming a Jets fan, or a Jets optimist during this segment. Weeks 1 through 4, Garrett Wilson had 8.5 targets per game. 5 catches, sure, a little bit under 50 yards. Last few weeks, more targets, more receiving yards, more big catches, and 4 touchdowns.
And some of that's Devontae Adams.
Exactly.
Yep.
Christian Gonzalez was all over.
Well, it started the week before. Maybe he had the 22 target.
No, but starting to pick it. I think everybody was worried about maybe Devontae would take too much, but maybe it's freeing him up, and now you got two.
And
weapons
while
for
your
Rodgers.
point that the same logic that says heel down, toe out of bounds should apply to shin down, knee out of bounds, logically speaking, you're 100% right. It's not how the rule's written, but I get what you're saying.
But I was happy
And that
for
was
the
still
highlights.
it's hard. I don't know if the shin was that, you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
also almost
how
like
can
a
you tell?
kinesiology thing.
Yeah,
Like
it's like,
your
can
shin
your
has
shin
to
be
test
down?
before.
Yeah, it
so
was-
that was weird, but I was glad it counted because it was dope.
Meanwhile, the